Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Let's go. Let me take the jacket off. Because it's about to get hot in here today. What's good, everybody? Good morning. Here on the Coach Smook Network. Welcome back. We are back for a beautiful, marvelous Monday, man. I'm telling y'all, man, today is a good day. Today is the day that the Lord has made. And we will rejoice and be glad in it here on the Coach Smook Network. Welcome y'all in for another live show, man. We aren't doing the early morning show right now because we get all our information around this time. You know, our 11 o'clock hour just passed. Y'all about to see some player interviews and things that's about to start getting posted on YouTube from our Alabama team reporters. We'll be doing our live reactions, providing our insight from practice today as our phone begins to buzz and things of that nature. So we're live to provide you live, up-to-date reactions for that. But we're going to open the show today. We're going to dive into the conversation about Alabama men's basketball, Alabama women's basketball. Alabama hoops is a topic of conversation for probably the last 6 or 7 years consistently on both sides of the fence. You know, the women have showed a recent history of success in making it to the tournament and actually making quality pushes. And same for the men. You know, most recent last year going to the Final Four. It was a big step. Looking to try to repeat that same type of mark this season. So we're going to dive into that conversation and kind of talk about their last showing where they went out and they got the breaks eat off of them in the second half against Florida, a team that has really, in my opinion, has already been one of the better teams in the country. But when you allow them to create turnovers without attacking the boards and slowing them down, and then you allow them to get in transition, no matter if they're hitting the shots or not, they're going to get the volume up that they want to kind of level out the amount of shots that they missed. And then we didn't get back on defense. We're going to dive into the conversation about it and just give a good outlook on what this team looks like. Alabama men's hoops looks like going forward into the NCAA tournament. First round matchup this Friday against Robert Morris College. You all know first round Cinderella stories is where they are born. That first round is where the Cinderella stories are born. A team like Robert Morris, who has athletes who can get up and down the floor, they will be a team that's going to be a game to pay close attention to. So we can get out of this first round of 62. What is it, 64? Get out of this round of 64 and keep making that push. So we'll dive into that conversation. I'm trying to get back to my home screen because here we go. Here we go. That way we can log in and get the phone lines up just in case we do have people that want to call in during the show today. In the second half of the show, we're going to open the phone lines and get everybody voices on the line after we, divulge in our little topics. But before we get all the way into the show, I just want to take a moment and welcome everyone in. Let me check this chat out. Let me see real quick. Got the black frames on today, guys. We working. All right, we got Zach in the chat. What's up, Zach? Man, you know what? What are we even doing? What is Coach Smook doing with the music, man? We tripping in the background. Crank it up one time for the ones in the chat. My guy Zach tapping in early before the stream, making sure he tapping, let everybody know what time it is. Roll Tide, baby. Roll Tide. We got David Daniel checking in on Twitter. My guy Wizzle, man, doing his doggone thing over there on the Twitter side. Jordan Wright checking in. Dylan, what's good, my brother? Good morning. Roll Tide. Scarecrow, what's good? BT, my boy. We got work this week, man. I can't wait to put this edit out tomorrow, man. BT, y'all get to see BT in action tomorrow. I get to see BT in action tomorrow. What's good, Jordan? Greg is in the building. What's good, Davin? My guy said he finally called a live. Look, man, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11:30, your lunch hour, come and tap in. Hang out with us as long as you can. I'm going to try to start getting the phone lines open a lot sooner, so you all can just call in. And we might even just start opening the phone lines just to ask questions. You want to call in and change the topic of discussion. Try to keep the first 15 minutes of the show dedicated to letting everybody come in and, diving into our topics. But then we get into all the discussion after we get here from the fans. So from the community, I don't like to call y'all fans. That sounds so disrespectful. All right, so we're in there on the phone line. I'm gonna open it up in a second. Everybody doing good? My boy Demetrius come in and said, he ain't even say what's up. I can't even talk to you, Demetrius. What's good, Demetrius? I see you enjoying that gifted membership. My boy said starting QB, Smook, go. You ain't been listening, man. You ain't been watching. Tell him to pull up and watch the show live, y'all. Tell him to pull up and watch the show live. He'll know who I think starting QB gonna be. Let me see if I can fix the light in here real quick. Everything look good, huh? All right, we good in the game. What's good? Is that Honorable Tate? How you feeling this morning, Juvie 86? What's good, Juvie? What's good, fam? How you doing this Monday morning, man? Juvie, I ain't seen you over here in a minute, man. Pick up that wristband. If you all don't know what the wristband is, man, that's the opportunity to join the AAA family. If you haven't already, like, share, and subscribe. There's a link in the chat. If you want to become a member of the AAA family, meaning you want to become a member of the YouTube channel and support growth of this channel, think about becoming a AAA member. Grab that wristband, get behind the scenes insight, and look at your inside scoops on Alabama football, especially with recruiting, and you're inside the locker room with your football team, and we're getting those solid relationships established with the basketball squad. As crazy as this past weekend, I was y'all see I wasn't active on my page. Y'all know usually when I go quiet is because we talking, we busy, but we talking. We busy, but we talking. And that's what was happening a lot since Wednesday of last week. I'm gonna tell y'all, spring break was fun for me because I was working the whole time. I mean, I was live, but I was working the whole time. And y'all gonna enjoy it, man. Y'all gonna be able to reap the benefits of it. I'm excited to be able to deliver this content to y'all in this facet. And Alabama Nation, we got a lot going on. We got a lot going on basketball, men and women's hoop. We're going to talk about that. We got baseball and softball and kicked off. The baseball team is going crazy right now. I think they only have one L. The softball team is getting better. Really going to dive into it this season. As spring ball finishes, we'll be able to open up and really get out to support baseball. And you all know March Madness, first game this Friday. We will be going to some site in the state of Alabama, watching the first round of the NCAA tournament, Alabama versus Robert Morris. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all. Like I said, he liked the music. Hey, appreciate you for tuning in. Make sure y'all share the stream today, man. We got 25 in the chat, man. That's 12 on Twitter, 13 on YouTube. Make sure y'all share it up. I know that the notifications are getting out now. We're past that 10-minute mark. The notifications will start getting pushed out now. And I've been seeing the viewership grow. The more we continue to just deliver this content, the viewership is growing. So right now in the chat, it's easy. Just drop a like on the stream and share it on Facebook, Twitter, somewhere. Tell everybody that you're tuned in to the hottest Alabama football call-in show, college football call-in show, whatever you want to call it, sports entertainment talk show on YouTube. You're tuned in and you want to share the fun, share the news, share the liveliness of this community. If I'm lagging, it's because we just got our internet upgraded again. So it's y'all know how that be. And then prayers for everybody that was affected by the storm this weekend. Hopefully everybody is safe. No hurt, harm, or danger came to anyone's homes or to their bodies. So we're praying for anybody that was affected by the tornadoes in the state of Alabama or across all the states that were affected by the storm. We're praying that everything is well. Everything is well. It really didn't hurt us too much down here in Montgomery. I was in Columbus, but it really didn't touch us. So prayers up. There was a few that touched around Tuscaloosa and a few a little bit north of Tuscaloosa, and I think out west in West Alabama, parts of Mississippi. So preferably everything is good, and you all are safe, and we can get into this show today. What's up, Travelpreneur Sports? Appreciate you for pulling up. Make sure you like and share the stream, brother. Good to see you in the chat. Once again, here on the Coach Smook Network, diving in today's topics, man. We're going to get into it, man. I'm excited because, one, we're going to be busy just talking Alabama. You know, Alabama athletics is really a multifaceted, I guess you could say, situation we have going on with Alabama basketball, men and women's hoops in NCAA tournament, with some realistic future, like projectile as far as how far they can go. We really could see both teams making a deep push in the tournament. I know the women probably have more of a uphill climb as far as the talent gap and development. You have the senior leadership in that first initial rotation. And then after that, we haven't seen the younger group get the type of experience or production that we wanted. And in tournament time, you got to be able to deal with that, you know, because it's any given night. If your top three players aren't having a good night, you need that fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth person that can step in and be an X factor. I think Alabama women's hoops has them. I think they just haven't had a real solid chance to develop. And we're going to see if that is going to come back to bite us, but we'll dive into that conversation. First conversation though, the hype, man, the men's team with all this talent. We've kind of talked about this throughout the season, as we, you know, have done our own. Hold up, let me make sure I get this. Okay, we do got it. I had to make sure we had the new fire. But just diving into it, guys. Men's basketball, we got a lot to look forward to, but it just doesn't seem to be coming together for this team. The demeanor of their approach to the game last against Florida, I wasn't satisfied. I don't know about you all, but anytime you go in and a team can come out and jump out to, I think it was a 14-0 run, you know, to start the second half, or was it a 14-2 run? And the lack of defensive intensity that we were showing. I mean, if the shots aren't falling, at least show some focus on the defensive side and take care of the ball on the offensive side. Offensive half court sets still looking, you know, really inconsistent from Nate Oates, and I just don't know what this team can do, because we see our team, and let's be honest, the team only looks good when the shots are falling. I mean, the defense feeds off of the shots falling. The transition game, the effectiveness and ball movement feeds off of this team, this group of players, Alabama players, shots falling. And I think that could really hurt you in the NCAA tournament when teams have time to really just focus on matchups, and that's what you come into the game focused on, which you got 3 or 4 days to prepare for a team after the first round, and then you get 2 or 3 days between each game to really, well, you get 5 days to prepare for the first round, and then 2 or 3 days in between each game is going to be like a good spread for guys to game plan. And I think it's different when you're outside of your conference, right? Conference schedule, NCAA tournament, you're seeing different makeups of rosters, right? Some rosters have more big men that have been they're systemized, right? I don't think our big men qualify as systematic big guys. Cliff, he struggles when in the half court sets as far as moving to his spots and creating offensive opportunities for himself, you know, especially when the offense is stagnant and we actually have to go through options in our half court sets. So I'm really worried, but I think if we're hitting our shots, if we're really keyed in on and we're hitting our shots, no team in the country is going to be able to keep up with us, minus Auburn, minus Duke, you know, even Florida. I think if we just keep hitting our shots against Florida, it's a different game. But you start turning the ball over, you're missing shots, Florida's going to capitalize because they're going to win the battle on the glass, right? We haven't been a strong team on the glass this season, and we haven't been strong in taking care of the ball. So your shots have to fall. So kind of like Coach Nate Oates said, and I was going to bring up the post NCAA announcement interview. As a matter of fact, let me do that. I can do that right now. Nate Oates post game interview after the Gators lost, and I'm gonna bring this banner up while I'm sitting here just yapping. Alabama men's hoops got the call to go dancing, number 2 seed in the same region as is it Duke? Are we in the same region as Duke? Yes, same region as Duke in the East region of the bracket. And I'm actually going to bring the bracket up so y'all can see how it kind of shaped out if you all aren't following it. And we're going to spend about 3 more minutes talking about that. Then we're going to move on to the women's side. And I'm going to go ahead and prep that while we looking at this side of the bracket. The East bracket is actually pretty talented bracket, low key. Like, I don't think people realize how much talent is over here. The quality of the teams. You got, I want to say 4 SEC teams. It's 2. No, it's 4. 1, 2. Vandy is there. You got Mississippi State and Alabama. So it's 3. You got 3 teams in this. 3 teams. Vanderbilt is a team that I think we did take a loss to Vanderbilt in the regular season. Vanderbilt men's team, they caught us slipping in the regular season. So this is, and Vanderbilt's a good team. They've been a good team all season. And then Mississippi State, y'all see the type of game they gave us. In the latter part of the last stretch of our season gauntlet schedule, they were probably one of the least put together teams coming back from injury, and they pushed us, late into the second half towards the end of that game. So this is going to be a quality bracket to make it through. Got to get past Robert Morris for sure. This is an athletic team. Going to open this page up here just to kind of give you a look at what this Robert Morris team has done this season. Some of their averages, just looking at some of the guys. Point leader being Cam Woods, a very lengthy athletic guard, can get up and down the floor, very athletic, can get off the floor quick, can create turnovers. He's very active on the defensive end. But then they also have another guard, Amarian Dixon, and this guy can shoot from range, man. He can shoot from range. His 3-point percentage, I think, is the second highest on the court, and that's only because of the volume. Well, he's number 4 on the team, but he shoots so many that, when he's not hitting, it's an off night. But when he's hitting, it's dangerous. So you got to be careful with Dickerson. They got another guy, Prather. They're a live by 3, die by the 3 team. They're going to play with tempo. And they're one of those teams that don't have anything to lose, and they're scary. It's scary when you're playing against those type of teams. We know the first round is where the Cinderella stories are born. Come on. That's what we look for in the first round as fans of March Madness. We look for that first round Cinderella story, and Robert Morris is looking to create their own narrative right there against a quality Alabama team, a number 2 seed. And you all know that the pressure is on us. This number 2 seed, that's pressure still. You may not, be number 1, but you're expected to handle your first round if you're one of those top 3 seeds in each region. And shout out to Brandon Turner. Shout out to BT over there on Facebook, dropping the heart reaction on the live. We got 44 live in the chat, 28 live on YouTube, and 17 live on Twitter. Y'all make sure y'all like it, like the stream. Y'all make sure y'all share it. If you haven't liked it on YouTube, we got 14 likes over here. Let's get up to 20 likes before we get to this half hour mark on the show. Appreciate y'all for running it up. Easy way to support the channel is by liking it and just commenting, letting us know where you're watching from and reacting to the chat. But yeah, diving into it, guys, we really do have a good matchup against this team. If anybody is discounting Robert Morris' schedule, I know we could look at their schedule and say, well, they don't play any ranked teams. You look at a lot of these names, these are the schools where your athletes who don't go D1 because of grades or because of lack of exposure, they go to these schools and they make a name for themselves during this time of year. Nobody was talking about Davidson when Stephen Curry was there until the tournament, right? Grand Rapids, Grand Canyon, or what it was, Grand Canyon University, they pushed Alabama to the edge last year in the first round of the tournament. So I think we need to really hope that our team really locks in and is focused on Robert Morris and not looking ahead against Vandy or who was the other team playing against Vandy? St. Mary's. St. Mary's is a team that I think can make a late push. They got a number 7 seed, but being in that bracket against St. Mary's, they're a system team. They execute at a high level. They are disciplined. They're not going to come outside of themselves. They're not going to play uncharacteristic. They're going to live and die by what they do. consistently, and they take care of the ball. I think they're one of your most turnover as far as turnover to score ratio. I think they're one of the more efficient teams percentage wise. You know, with the amount of possessions they create a lot of turnovers too. So it's a lot of quality teams in this bracket. We have to stay focused and really clinch against Robert Morris. Little scheme talk. I think the best option for us right now, I love LeBaron Filan, right? I love the way he just his insertion into the starting five has been great, right? As far as offensive ball movement, quality production, I think we need to unleash him by putting another big on the floor and letting him and Holloway or him and Sears during those 4-minute stretches after you start the game, you know, after your first time out, you adjust into the game. I think you immediately need to go to that hustle defensive squad with Diabate, Feline. I think you could sacrifice not having a Sears and Holloway on the floor at the same time, because that's two defensive liabilities that we just can't afford during the tournament time. You can't afford it. So guys like Youngblood, Stevenson, Diabate, Big Cliff. I mean, Aiden Sherrill has been quality in defense. Grant Nelson, when he's not on the primary offensive player, the primary scoring option, he's been quality. These guys, they play better defense when you don't have those two offensive, you know, those two snipers on the floor at the same time for long, extensive periods of times. Especially when teams can match us in scoring, man. You gotta sacrifice for the defense at the end of the day. Defense in this time of year is going to win you championships. Is going to get you to the next round. The team with the most defensive stops is usually the team in the best position to win the game at the end of the game. And I think we are in good position if we start running that personnel grouping where you got Stevenson at the 2, and then you could put Diabate at the 3, Nelson at the 4, Cliff at the 5, or Sherrill at the 5, Nelson at the 4, or Diabate at the 4. You can stretch Diabate, right? Stevenson is a guy that you can stretch at the 2 to 3, you know, especially the way you play small ball now. Having those 3 guards on the floor for extensive amount of times has come back to bite us in the butt, because you got 3 guys who can be careless with the ball at times, and you can't have all 3 of them on the floor at the same time being careless, right? Transition game has to be on point. They all do it great when they have guys running the lane. I think Mark Sears can fall into his playing off the ball role completely, and that'll be more effective offensively. Keep the ball out of his hands. Let him play off the ball. That's going to be the most effective he can do. So when it's time for him to put the ball in his hands, now he's got his setup. He's rocking. He's got guys falling asleep. He's able to put his handles to use. Now he's able to get the defense to collapse, and now he can kick out with more options because he's been making the space on the perimeter playing off the ball. So that's my immediate fix to them having some type of extensive push in the tournament. And I think we need to see the up-tempo game at a high rate in order for them to just continue to be a competitive team. Tempo for Bama basketball is the key. Bama men's basketball. So that's my little take. Your thoughts in the comments, your thoughts on the phone line when we open them. Alabama men's hoops, what do you see this tournament, this bracket turning out like? As a matter of fact, while we're here, let's go ahead and do our first round. We're gonna finish the bracket probably Wednesday, or we could do it tonight. We might be able to finish our bracket tonight, but I'm gonna go ahead and let's share the bracket and see how we see this thing shaping out. If anybody want to do a bracket challenge, anybody down for a bracket challenge? Because I'm down to start one, and we could do our own bracket challenge in the AAA community. But let's look at our the East region. We got Duke versus whoever comes out of the this matchup. I think Duke is going to make a long run. Mississippi State and Baylor. Mississippi State, I told you all, I think this is a quality team. Tournament time is different though. Baylor, that's another team that can get shots up fast. Mississippi State, they can go tempo, but that's not their game. Can they win on the boards? I don't think Baylor is going to give you many opportunities to win on the boards. They're a quality shooting team. Neutral floor, I'm taking Mississippi State because of the defensive pressure. I think they can make Baylor miss enough shots because of their dedication to the defensive side of the ball. And that's kind of their bread and butter. Let's go Oregon Liberty. I think Oregon really just kind of walks away with this one. I don't see Liberty being able to match up in the perimeter game, keeping up with the perimeter shots. If it gets to a game where they could be in the paint, they could slow the tempo down and be in the paint. They might be able to push Oregon, late into the second half. But I think Oregon has way too much on the perimeter game, and their effectiveness to move the ball on the perimeter in the half-court sets kind of gives them the edge for me in this game. Arizona and Akron. Arizona is a great team, but if there was a team in this tournament that I was going to pick as a sleeper, it would be Akron. It will be Akron. I'm telling y'all right now, sneaky athletic team, fast, and they got some guys that can leap. They got some guys that can leap. But I'm not picking them for the upset today. I think the higher seeds in this region really show up and kind of handle business. And the only team, surprisingly, that I'm in question about is not fair weatherness, is just the Bama in me and the basketball coach in me, the former player in me, right? Is our team, because we have another situation where, like last year, if our best form shows up, we're top notch. Nobody's bothering us. But if we don't show up in our best form, our A+ game, we might lose. It's not that we will lose, we might lose. Best form, nobody's touching us. Best form, nobody's touching us. But if we show up half-stepping, we might lose. We might get by playing an ugly game. But NCAA tournament, we all know that's not where you want to be. That's not where you want to be playing a sloppy game and getting wins. You definitely want to be on your A game. My God, let me jump in the chat real quick for a few comments. Reed should be ready to go. And you know what? Having Reed back is going to be huge. Darian Reed, I think he's the answer to getting Cliff, keeping him fresh. Against Florida, Cliff just looked tired. He looked burnt out. The tournament time is moving fast. You're only going to have 2 days, 3 days max of rest, right? And you're not practicing at your home facility. You're in and out the hotel, treatment in between. You're trying to keep your body and fluids up. You're trying to get food in your body. So got to be locked in for this tournament. Kevin Smith-Sears got to come out of his slump, or we are in trouble 100%. And that's why I think that's on your coaching staff, Kevin. If you're really locking in with what I'm saying, I think that's on your coaching staff. You got to be able to see when guys are struggling. You got to kind of change it up and give a space and opportunity for guys to build confidence, even if it doesn't result in a win. Get some of your other guys who are going to need to have the ball in their hands if Sears runs into that situation in the tournament, and is in a slump. He's in a drought, right? Travelpreneur Sports says Arizona is inconsistent. I think that's what I said about Akron possibly having that. That's what I was getting to as far as Akron being a sleeper team. But I think Arizona is inconsistent as they are. I think they're good enough to really get by this first round matchup against Akron. Akron needs everything to go good for them right now. They need everything to go good for them to go against an inconsistent but talented Arizona squad. It's still talent on that team. And you have to be able to get them out of rhythm, because if they are in rhythm, that's you in trouble, right? That's you in trouble. So 100%, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Y'all, we got some numbers in here now. Let's go. Run the likes up on the stream. Make sure we get this thing up to 20 likes. We need 4 more likes to get to 20. So all 23 of you on YouTube, please make sure you drop a reaction on the stream. Hey, all 20 of you on Twitter, make sure you retweet this. Let everybody know that you're here on the Coach Smook Network and join some Bama sports coverage and talk. My guy Honorable Tay says we gotta play defense 100%. I think second half against Florida, we fell apart on the defensive side. Moving on in the tournament. Moving on in the tournament seeding. And don't forget, like and share the stream, guys. That's the easiest way to support. Everybody asks, man, how can we help your channel grow? Like and share. That's the easiest and most effective way to help with the growth of this channel. I promise you, it don't seem like a lot, but it is a lot. It means a lot. And then also, real quick, segue kind of type thing. Going and checking out the VODs and the shorts, liking, sharing those, leaving comments on those. That is a major way to help us grow right now. YouTube is really focusing on getting the reels and shorts pushed out. So if you all can continue to help your boy out by going to those shorts and resharing them on different social media sites, getting people looking at them and reacting, it'll definitely help us grow. So I appreciate y'all for helping in that facet. back to the tournament bracket. BYU versus VCU. You know what? I'm gonna take VCU for the upset. VCU just historically has a knack for diving in and I mean, like, literally just they show up in the tournament and they always get a first round upset win against somebody because they don't get to play the top end teams right during the season, and everybody kind of overlooks them. But you look at their roster, they're D1 Power 5 built like roster, and they put out quality games. You look at their scoring, they average like 80 something points a game, 84 points a game, I believe. BYU is a upcoming as far as basketball. I mean, quality of basketball across college basketball is just is improved immensely. You know, guys are getting a lot more exposure in the circuits, AAU circuits, and teams are getting out and recruiting and being able to snatch up some guys and keep them in their regions. And some are now with NIL are able to kind of keep guys at home for convenience purposes. You know, guys don't really want to go away for a year to go play somewhere for a year, then go to the league. They can stay home and do that, make money to do it for a year, get better. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. So VCU, BYU, I got VCU with the upset. I think that's going to be a good game. Like my guy, Travel Sports said in the chat, I think that's going to be a good one. Can't wait to see it. And the games kick off Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. Is Thursday the 20th? Somebody let me know. Thursday is the 20th, correct? Yeah, and then Friday will be live watch party from one of these bars down here, sports bars. Cedric said we got to play defense 100%, man. We're going to talk about our game again later this week. Wisconsin and Montana. Now, I got Wisconsin because their defense to me is probably some of the best defense in the country. I think defensively this team can match up. Their offensive presence is pushed, is driven by their defense. So coming out of this matchup, I think Montana, even though they're going to play hard-nosed, a physical team, I think Wisconsin has just a little bit more on the offensive side. They have a few more offensive assets available that show up and can give you those 3 or 4 possessions that make the difference in the game, where the defensive presence is going to be felt on both sides between Wisconsin and Montana. I got Wisconsin coming out of that matchup. Going to be a quality defensive game. Shout out to everybody popping up in the chat. Rob Baker, what's up, man? Appreciate you for tapping in on the live, man. Roll Tide, man. Make sure y'all grab them wristbands again, man. We want to get our memberships back up to 150. We want to get back up to 150 members, man. Our subscribers are going up. Want to get back up to 150 members. St. Mary's and Vanderbilt, I was just talking about this game, man. This is one where I think is going to be a quality game, guys. I like Vanderbilt's squad. I like how Vanderbilt is dialed in on defense. But Vanderbilt half-court sets are probably the most consistent in the SEC. I hadn't watched a lot of basketball nationwide, right? I've kind of been able to catch up on clips and things during the tournaments, all the conference tournaments, watching teams have kind of like what they're going to be able to put on the floor in the tournament. Got a few teams that got tournament bids. They got 1 or 2 guys coming back for full health. How effective that's going to be, I don't know. It's kind of hard to judge when you've missed 3 weeks of basketball. It takes 3 or 4 games to get back into it. I don't care what type of injury it is. So shout out to St. Mary's and Vanderbilt. I think this is going to be one of those games where it can go OT, 1 or 2 OTs. Similar styles of play. You got isn't Patino St. Mary's, right? Or is he at St. John's? I can't remember. Somebody tell me. He's at St. Mary's, right? Somebody fact check me. Let me know. But St. Mary's historically has always made quality pushes in the NCAA tournament. I think in this game, though, the SEC was not a fluke this year. I don't think that I really don't think the talent in the SEC was a fluke this year. And I think this year's tournament will showcase that. His son, Travelpreneur, right? I appreciate you, brother. He got it in his blood. But I think this is the tournament where we see the SEC dominance showcased. And for that reason, I'm going to go with Vandy over the Patino bloodline, man. First round tournament. I'm going with Vandy. And Of course, I think we win against Robert Morris, not the fan in me. I think we just have enough offensive presence. I think the styles don't clash enough, right? Because they play a similar style we play. And usually that fares well in our sense, meaning teams that turn the ball over a lot. Robert Morris is an up-tempo team. Their numbers won't show turnovers, but they haven't played an athletic team like Alabama all season. All right? They've played some quality teams, but I don't think across the board they've played the type of length and athleticism that they're going to see, especially in our the back court. The front court, we got our short guards that can move. And when Aiden Holloway and Mark Sears are dialed in defensively, we have probably one of the best guard duos in the country, right? When those two are dialed in. And you add LeBaron Filan in there, with what he can do, you kind of live with his freshman inconsistencies on the defensive end. But when Aiden Holloway and Mark Sears are dialed in defensively, it flows into the offense, and we see that trio of guards flow and become very impactful. Against Robert Morris, that's what we're going to have because Robert Morris can get up and down the floor. I'm telling y'all, this is a team, they're going to push tempo, but because they match our style play, I think we can create a lot more turnovers than we usually can against teams who are more half-court set structured, right? So quality game here. I think we get the edge, and that's my first round bracket for the Eastern region. All right, I got Duke coming out of their matchup, Mississippi State over Baylor. I got Oregon coming out over Liberty, Arizona over Akron. You know what? My gut is telling me to watch Liberty create the first upset of the tournament. I just don't know, man. I just don't know. We ain't submitting the bracket yet. We'll do our final bracket on Wednesday, on Wednesday's show, because I gotta really do some the Sun is at New Mexico. I knew it was a red and white team. Entrepreneur, see, you like me. I color associate and brand associate everything because it's so much to cover. It's so much to cover and watch. But I'm looking at this first round, man. I feel like Liberty might be a team to pull the upset. I got VCU pulling the quote unquote upset, being the lower seed. I think Vanderbilt game, I don't think that's an upset. 7-10, 7-11 is not. There's not much separation. 7-11 in my eyes, and we've kind of seen that traditionally in this tournament. And Alabama got to be locked in playing first round against Robert Morris. I'm telling y'all, we have to be locked in against Robert Morris. Shout out to the 29 in the chat on YouTube and the 19 likes on the stream. One more like and we get up to 20, man. We get up to 20. Alabama will win the whole tournament, Cedric says on Twitter. Man, you know what, Cedric? We have enough talent to do so. Just got to really lock it in and make sure that guys are they're doing their jobs, man, doing their job. Shout out to the 27 on Twitter, man. 29 on YouTube, 27 on Twitter. Make sure y'all running likes up on YouTube and that y'all sharing it on Twitter. Now, transitioning to women's basketball, give me a second to kind of just dive into or set the stage for this conversation, because Alabama women's hoops getting a number 7 seed is to me is very generous, honestly. Looking at how we close out the season, I just thought they would be a little harsh on us with a lot of your other quality teams surging. But then, South Carolina, to me, honestly, for the women's bracket, I think South Carolina got snubbed. Not getting the number 1 seed. I think Alabama right there. Well, I'm not going to say we didn't deserve the number 7 seed, but it's a lot of teams that if you just were comparing resumes, they can make an argument. But I like the position that we're in. Whoever comes out of that first round matchup, I'm telling you, man, playing back home in Birmingham, I think that I know for a fact I will be making a trip up to Birmingham for that game. Let me see if I can get this bracket pulled up. Like I said, y'all, please, if we're having issues with the with lagging and stuff, please don't beat me up too bad, y'all. So we got our region turn game. Let me see. The first game against Green Bay is going to be in Birmingham. That's this Saturday in Birmingham, if I'm not mistaken. The Saturday is the 22nd. Make sure I'm not tripping. Saturday the 22nd, right? Yeah. Because I was supposed to be at in Oxford for a 7-on-7 tournament. But some things got changed. We got pushed to the Atlanta one, and that's even better. It's closer, a little bit closer, better drive. Whole team is closer to Atlanta, so that's good. But against Green Bay Phoenix, and everybody looking at Green Bay. Yeah, don't play. Do not play. I hope we've learned our lesson for playing against brands during football season. Like looking at the brand instead of the team. I mean, Vanderbilt should have been enough to let everyone know that college sports is changing. NIL has changed the whole landscape of what college sports is, right? And if you all think that Alabama women's basketball team can go into NCAA tournament and just roll over a Green Bay team and not play their best game, you're sadly mistaken. And I want to say this. I'm not going to sit here in front like I know about this Green Bay team, but I look at their resume and they don't just play like they don't do anything special. They literally just go in. They have a system that they run. They have a few players statistically that give them a bump. And if you look at their statistics, man, they have a balance as far as rebounding and turnovers created. Like they're a team that can create 10 plus turnovers a game. They're a team that's going to get 30, 40 plus rebounds a game, team total rebounds. Defensively, they lead their league on the defensive rebound stats, right? They're third in their league in creating turnovers. Now, they're not playing against Carolinas and South Carolinas and Tennessees and LSUs, but they're playing against a Creighton, which they up until the second half, they played them tough. Creighton went on a 16-4 run to beat them. You look at some of their losses. Let me find some more of their losses. Not even gonna front Virginia. They played Virginia close early in the season. This is when they was healthy. You know, first game of the season, Kansas State women's team. If y'all didn't see Kansas State women's team early in the season, they were surging early in the season. So they went in and got blew out by Kansas State. But every game outside of that, they've kind of played their game. They've been in their system. So I'm curious to see how Coach Curry takes this game, because you have an opportunity to go against a squad that talent-wise you have the edge. If you come out and execute at a high level, do you get quality burn for some of your role players on the bench, some of your bench? We're going to need it, man. We're in a competitive region on the women's bracket side. Let me show y'all real quick. I'm going to go back to this tab here. I'm going to show y'all some of the teams over here in this bracket as the women's side. We're in the same bracket region as South Carolina. First and foremost, Coach Dawn Staley. Shout out to her. That's my girl, man. I ain't gonna lie. I be fanned out when I talk about Dawn Staley. That whole interaction with her after that Bama game was everything. I be fanned out. I ain't gonna lie. But I think they're going to be a team that we definitely gonna have to watch. Indiana is in this bracket. Women's team, quality team. You crazy if you don't think so. Norfolk State. I think we had a early season tournament matchup against Norfolk State. We blew them out, but they came out. I mean, late in that game, they went on like a 7 or 8-3 score. Were we in the same tournament as them, or did we play them in the tournament? I just know they had a crazy like 3-point shooter. Maryland's in this bracket. You got North Carolina is in this bracket, and Duke is in this bracket. All right, so we not half stepping in this bracket. Not half stepping in this bracket. Going to have some quality games. Wherever we come out of this bracket, we might have to see West Virginia or North Carolina. Oregon State sneaky good too. Oregon State women's basketball sneaky good. So Alabama women's basketball, this first game is going to tell a lot against Green Bay. If we can't get in, create a comfortable lead separation wise, and get some of these younger players in and get some quality experience early in this tournament, I think it might come back to bite us when you start getting against some of your North Carolinas, your Oregon, your Duke, even that Vanderbilt squad that we saw our team go in and handle, during the season. It's hard to beat a team, twice, let alone 3 times in the season. So hopefully we can get some quality rotational depth And I think in this game particularly, if your big three are struggling offensively, you have to go with your defensive presence, Coach Curry. You got to go with your defensive lineup and allow them to work their way through the game, because I would like to see statistically, and I want to see like the what they call the beyond the number stats, I guess you could say, getting into the analytics to see what the point differential is when we don't have Zay Green, Aaliyah Knight, and Sarah Ashley Barker in at the same time. Like personnel grouping wise, what happens when it's Barker as your leading scorer and you have Diana Collins, Azuma, Cristobal Azuma, Carly Weathers, and let's say Eris Lester, or going with another big in Essence Cody, you know, being our fourth leading scorer. She's a quality scoring option. Defensively, she provides more of a presence when there's the ball movement on the offensive side is flowing. And we don't have that sometimes when those three scorers, because they all can create their own shots. So now give your defense a chance to win it for you, especially in this game, man. You get out to a 10-point lead, run that defensive squad for a 6-minute stretch. Run it for a 6-minute stretch, really push them through a gauntlet of situational ball. And if we come out with a sizable win, I think that boosts confidence. So you have a situation where if Zay Green or Aaliyah Nye or Sarah Ashley Barker gets in foul trouble early, or Essence Cody has been having some foul trouble as of late, being that we've been playing some teams with multiple bigs and she's carrying heavy minutes as one of our bigs. You know, you get in those situations, you want people like Carly Weathers, Diana Collins, Eris Lester, your depth players. Even though Carly's a starter, she's like your Swiss knife. She's a depth piece. You want them comfortable with handling the ball and putting up shots and taking difficult or big moment shots, big game shots. So I think that's your fix. Women's bracket is literally just playing our game, locking in on the defensive side, coming out with energy. We can't come out slow either. We can't start slow. We cannot start slow. This team, when we start fast and we're pushing tempo early, that's when. And it's crazy because Coach Nate Oates is a tempo guy, high volume shot guy. Coach Kirk, she's a tempo check with the sideline type coach. When her team's in a slump, she kind of allows them that 4 or 5 possession change of possessions or whatever, that roll of possessions. She allows them that stretch to kind of figure it out before she calls a timeout. And sometimes they come back to bite her, but sometimes it works itself out because then you get a wider scope to evaluate during your timeout and make adjustments, right? So I think that the coaching is going to matter in this first game to set us up for how this tournament looks. A solid push for the women's side, though. Get a few upsets outside of our game. I mean, like maybe a Oregon over Vandy upset, right? I don't see Duke women's losing to Lehigh, but who knows? This is March. It's March Madness. Tennessee Tech, could they come in and sneak one from Dawn Staley in South Carolina? So we got some storylines, possibilities over here in the East bracket, in the Birmingham bracket for the women's side of the NCAA tournament. So give me your thoughts on that. Alabama getting in as the number 5 seed. I'm sorry, I put number 7. I'm sitting here looking at it, and let me correct that while y'all laughing out there. I know y'all laughing. Number 5 seed in the women's side in the Birmingham bracket. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see both of these teams, see what type of push we get here for the NCAA tournament. A lot of noise around it, a lot of hype around it. And I think this year there's a lot more eyes on it because of how many players are just kind of showcasing NBA, WNBA level talent. And they're not loaded on one team. South Carolina doesn't have like all 7 of your, WNBA prospects. There's one in there's a team in Oklahoma women's basketball. There's a LSU. There's a Oregon women's team. There's a UCLA women's team that's going crazy right now. And a team that I have probably making a push because of the bracket that they're in, man. And y'all can say what y'all want. Y'all can say I'm just talking out the side of my neck. But UNC Greensboro going against USC in the first round. in Virginia, UNC Greensboro, their fans are going to travel. And I'm going to give a shout out to UNC Greensboro. My sister, Cicely, is a graduate of UNC Greensboro. And she is a national champion. I think they're D1 AA when she was there. They were national champs for NIT national champs, I believe. This is going to be a team to watch out for. If they get past USC, I watched them play in they conference tournament, and they not no pushovers. Don't let the 16 seed fool you. Don't let that number fool you. This UNC Greensboro team can they get up and down the floor. The women's team can get up and down the floor. The men's team too, just like Coastal Carolina basketball team. They can. College basketball is different than it was like 5 years ago. Not just because of NIL. Kids are understanding that I don't necessarily have to go to Duke to get a look at the NBA level now in today's game. I can go to a respected program that gets out. They travel. They get in some of your hot regions and they just play ball. They put out quality film, highlights, all of that nature, all of the media coverage that's out, like my outlet or the network. People eyes are everywhere, and it only takes a few hundred views to get eyes on the program, and then to see the quality of talent, not just in that program, but in that conference or in that region. So a lot of excitement surrounding college basketball. Here we are, y'all, running up on our the first hour of the Coach Smook show, the Coach Smook Calling show. I see y'all in the chat, man. Make sure, hey, put some fire in the chat. Let's get up and do a stretch real quick. Let's get a quick stretch in. My old lady, Toya, Libe, she just loves to like pick at me. She's like, I don't see how you do it. She was like, I just don't see how you do it. She was like, I don't see how you do it. You just sit up there, you talk for like 2 hours straight. I was like, I just love Bama. I love sports, and I love talking. So that's what we do here. We talk sports, man. We keep y'all connected, especially on a basketball, not basketball, but football tip. Keep y'all connected on the football tip. But real quick, man, let's go into a little quick, little infomercial break. Not infomercial, but we're gonna go into a quick intermission, 2-minute intermission. I'm gonna go grab some water, and when we come back, spring ball, man. We should be having some reports coming in. I'm gonna check my phone on this quick break. And when we come back, we're going to dive into the talk around Alabama spring football. What's happening? What's being reported from practices? Who's showing up in today's first full practice after our spring break? Get what I'm saying? Right? I don't know why my phone alerts is not going on. I'm not getting. Oh, I was turning do not disturb on that. That would explain it. Let me pull up my notes. All right, so we got everything set up. So when we get back, like I said, we're going to dive into the conversation. Some of our reports from practice. We'll, if we're not live, because this live is only going to be an hour and a half. If we're not live when the interviews start getting posted from the team reporter sites, we'll come back live and do live reactions. Y'all know how we do. Keep your notifications on. You don't have to, necessarily watch it. You could just tune in, listen in, and react. And we'll open the phone lines to provide reactions. 2 to 3 minute phone calls, and then we do our thing. So let's get that little thing popped off real quick. I keep moving stuff. I like my new setup too, y'all. I'm just getting used to it. And thank y'all for supporting, man. We was able to this YouTube payout that we have this month with all the memberships, super chats, and everything. This will be our second largest donation month. Wait, this is only the third month of the year. I'm tripping. Well, this will be the second largest of the year. February's was pretty good, and so March is even more. And I'll be able to share with you all the total amount that we did in a year in May. As far as charitable donations, I really want to celebrate that. Echo running on 2 screens. I don't hear echo. Oh yeah, y'all. Shout out to Mary J in the back. She's going through her producer training right now, and just kind of watching along. This is our watch along stream. She tapped it. Oh, you might be getting it because I had the other mic unmuted and you in the back too. So, but appreciate her for coming on and being a solid help to the team all the way around, man. And then if anybody else is interested in supporting the Coach Smook Network in any facet, jump in the Discord. My moderators can get you the Discord link in the chat. Jump in there. Let us know how long you've been supported. We can watch you. There's always an evaluation period. We just want to see some consistency and support. That's all we want to see. Consistency and support. And have a real desire to support the vision of the Coach Smook Network. This is a creative information platform that does creative, informative content around your sports. And we're connected. We've networked. We've worked hard to build some solid relationships. And if you want to have some access and behind the scenes looks and insight, we're going to be able to provide that. We actually have a phone call this week that we're trying to set up. I think this is going to be a huge monumental moment for the Coach Smook Network when you all hear this certain voice on the network. And he has been very supportive in my my presence, allow me to help the brand grow and get an established relationship with the University of Alabama. So having him come on this show as far as in any facet would be awesome. And I think that's going to help us really, really grow, y'all. It's going to help us really grow. So I appreciate y'all for supporting. And with that being said, y'all, we're going to jump into a little infomercial break. Little intermission, not infomercial break, but little intermission. And when we get back, we'll dive into our spring football conversation here on the Coach Smook Network. Appreciate y'all for being here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel here on YouTube. And if you're on any other platform, just come over to the YouTube. We're trying to get to 3K subs before the end of March, and we're almost there. We're about 150, 140 away. So help your boy get there. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for being here. I'll be right back. Thank you. weak side linebacker, right? Put him next to the mic.
I'm not going to take up a lot of time, but I want to say that I'm excited about what.
Okay, forgive me, my brother. What's on your mind?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just still sorry for all the other content creators now that we have this mega star back in our presence.
You talking about Jalen Miro and the Pips?
The perfect weak side linebacker, right? Put him next to the mic.
I'm not going to take up a lot of time, but I want to say that I'm excited about what.
Okay, forgive me, my brother. What's on your mind?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just still sorry for all the other content creators now that we have this mega star back in our presence.
Yeah. Let's go. We back in the show. I had to run it back twice. I was trying to listen. I thought I changed it. I thought I changed it in the ringer because we got a snake on that voiceover. And I don't want no snakes on none of the content that we've been doing. I thought I put the new one on there. I don't know. I gotta go back. And make sure I get that updated for y'all. Cause we want nothing but quality over here. Shout out to my guy Ayo Sully. It's 334. My boy, man. My boy said he about to get active as soon as he get moved in and settled good. It's about to get crazy over here on the Coach Smook Network. I'm telling y'all, man. Appreciate the $4.99 super chat. And becoming the first co-sponsor on today's stream. Y'all see we haven't been really pushing the super chats and stuff, man. It does. I'm really bent on really allowing God to do what he do for this network. I don't care to ask for another super chat, man. And some of you all that's really connected, you all know why. I want to show. I don't want to show them. I want God to show some of those people that's talking crazy and saying crazy stuff. Right? I want him to show them that it was never about them. It was never about me. It was always him, you know, and no amount of money donated or contributed to this network was used in any other form other than to keep the network afloat. And I appreciate every bit of it. And I'm telling y'all, man, the fact that I actually have a liaison with Autism Awareness and Autism Speaks of Columbus, Georgia, that we actually literally every month we go on the website and we donate from my personal account, you know, based off of what you guys contribute through YouTube, and we donate to these corporations, and some months is you know 3 digits, some months is 2, but we donate monthly. We donate sometimes more than percentage that we committed to, that we pledge. So that's just what we do, man. And I always said that when you do right by God's people, he'll definitely bless you. When you do good to others, he'll bless you. It might not come when you want it, but anytime you think about it, he's always looked out for you when you needed it. So that's what we want to keep going here on the Coach Smook Network. But jumping into the hot topic, you all know, man, we always want to talk Alabama football. That's what really, at the end of the day, no disrespect to any other sports, man, but football reigns supreme here in the South. It just is what it is. And here in the state of Alabama, football just reigns supreme. So jumping into the conversation, man, we got a lot to talk about, but topic of conversation today, Alabama spring camp report. We're going to get some of that stuff coming in and reacting to it live as it's getting posted from some of our outlets. Shout out to Bama Online, partnering with them. TDA, we've been rocking with them for a little while. We're going to be doing some collaboration things with them. Some on the side note, man, tomorrow's show, we have a crazy show planned for a Tuesday morning. Myself and Steven Smith. He used to be with Touchdown Alabama. He's went independent on his own. He's just been resourced. You all know that's a very well-respected voice amongst Bama Nation. It'll be live on the show tomorrow. We'll be talking real hot topics of Alabama football, which is, I hate that I came live today because it's hard for me to talk about what I know, because me and him will be talking about some of these things that have been coming out on the blotter report, some of the things that we've been hearing coming from the locker room, some of the things that I've seen and I communicated with him and that he's been able to confirm. We're going to be on the show talking about it tomorrow live. So if you're not a member, you might want to get in, because we're both trying to decide if this is information that everybody needs to be privy to. And he has been very vocal in supporting the Coach Smook Network, and I'm grateful for my brother Steve Smith for giving me a shout out. So if y'all on Twitter right now listening, shout out Steven Smith. Make sure y'all tag him and be on the lookout for the promo. We got the video and the thumbnail being made right now. We'll have the link set up before the night, and you all will tap in tomorrow. We're going to be able to get this show done in the morning. And we got vibes, man. We got vibes coming to the Coach Smook Network. We also got Clint Lamb checking in this week on the Coach Smook Network. So for you all know that don't know, Crimson crossover with Clint Lamb. Clint Lamb is on a lot of stuff, man. Clint just all over it. Anything Alabama right now, Clint Lamb is going to be on top of it. Very well respected name and voice writer in the Bama Nation when it comes to coverage, and he's worked hard to get where he is. I truly respect him. A good friend. We literally talk a lot. You know, something happened. Cover Crimson. I said Crimson crossover. It's Cover Crimson, but something happened on somebody's channel, and Clint hit me up like, bro, did you see this crap? And I was like, no, man. So we go check in, and you know, we texting back and forth, and to know that, you know, I'm not the only one that is over this segregation amongst the fan base. I think we all can have different ways of thinking and be cool with that. Like, I don't care that you don't like the fact that the quarterback is black, but keep that, you know, let's have respect for other people's way of thinking, you know, when it comes to that person thing, right? And I think that was the main thing with him. It was like, you know, why does our fan base have to be on the forefront of the racial divide when it comes to sports, and we support the same team? You know, it takes all of us, no matter the color of the skin, it takes all of us to win games. Doesn't matter if the quarterback is black or white. Win games, become Bama. It wasn't just built on one ethnicity or race, right? The Bama football that we know today wasn't built on one race, so we got to stop that. And every time I see it, when I see it, I'm gonna call it out. I don't care to be quiet about it. I'm gonna call it out. Some people say you giving it attention. Yes, it needs to be made aware of so we can stop it and eliminate it. It's one thing to have an opinion about somebody's content or somebody's takes, but then when takes and things of that nature start to show kind of like your true colors, and it has nothing to do with football, that's when I have a problem, and that's when I'm going to speak up. And a lot of people are scared to do that, but thank God for his strength and resilience to stay authentic and be who I am and not care about what the industry wants, but speak the truth, speak the real. And that's what we're going to keep doing here on the Coach Smook Network. You hear me? So I appreciate y'all for supporting that. Fabric's got y'all the link right there. If you haven't joined the Coach Smook Network and become a member of the channel, $2.99 could get you in the door. We only got that. We got that one in the VIP. Don't forget, April 1st, we got the t-shirts coming out for our VIP. Not these. We actually gonna be able to start. We got like 4 more shirts getting made. I'm gonna put the VIP shirt of the month right here. So if you liking the shirts that you see right here, you might want to become VIP because you get it shipped to you. Every 3 months, we're gonna ship you the shirt of the quarter for free as a VIP. And then there's other perks. And then back here, I want to do something. So if you all want to send Coach Smook some gifts or something, you want to get on the family wall. This is going to be the family wall here behind little Smooky. Did y'all get to meet Smooky last stream, right? Y'all see he got his Bama glasses on, right? My boy Smooky swagged out on y'all. Smooky, say what's up. What's up? Yeah, y'all know Smooky always singing when he speak. No, I don't. Yes, you do, bro. You always singing. Oh, you sing, bruh. Smooky, come on, man. See, that's why I like to bring Smooky to the screen. He started acting up. Smooky ain't camera shy. Smooky ain't camera shy. Put your glasses on, Smooky. My boy Smooky is not camera shy. My boy Smooky is not camera shy. But become a member, y'all can definitely kick it with. Smooky gonna be doing some reports on recruiting this summer too, y'all. Smooky gonna be in a lot of spots. If you ever out and you see Smooky and you get a picture, I got a surprise for you. You know what? That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let Smooky be the like Wells Waldo of Coach Smook Network, and we're gonna allow people to try to find Smooky. And because you all have been supporting, we're gonna do $5 cash apps for whoever finds Smooky. You know, and I'm gonna post it at least. Let's start it in football season. We're gonna post it. We're gonna put him somewhere on campus, and anybody that can find Smooky where he reporting from, as far as the student body, fan base, whatever, He might be at CVS one day. He might be at what's it called? The barbecue spot out there, the famous Heartland Barbecue. He might be out there. We don't know. Smooky might be anywhere. He might be at Thomas's Barbecue. We don't know. King's Kitchen. I'm calling out all them restaurants. My memories. It's been a year since I showed up to T-Town, y'all. I've been grateful this past week. But let's get into the conversation. I was just getting everybody a chance to pull back up. Had some people go take a restroom break like I did. Make sure y'all continue to run the likes up. We almost at 20 likes. We need one more like to get to 20, y'all. We got 23 viewers in the chat. That means somebody didn't like the stream. We got 21 now. There we go. We got it. We in there. Mary J been a VIP member on the channel here for a while now. She upgraded, I want to say 4 months ago. But she's been a member on the channel since we had memberships, 10 months. If you've been a member for 10 months, that means you've been here since the start. All right. 2 more months and we celebrate a year. Thank y'all for being here. But spring practice report, man. Just some early text messages and things that's being communicated to me. Day one pads, it is physical out there. Guys are popping. Young guy Michael Carroll continuing to turn heads. Just from an offensive line outlook. Olis Alanin really starting to show some improvement. Sanders, I want to say William Sanders, really showing some growth, man. He's one of the bigger bodies in that offensive line room. Probably going to be pushing for some guard rotation. But with the questions at tackle, I think this year could be a year that Sanders benefits from being one of those guys who didn't develop last year and didn't get thrown out too early. Because you got a guy like Wilkin Formby, who's showcased that he was start worthy last year, and went out there and had to struggle and go through his growing pains. But now you turn around this year, got that experience under the belt. He's kind of your front runner for that right tackle position. But there's a lot of quality talent behind him that's learning the system. And the moment they start developing, you're going to see the effectiveness and the quality of competition push. So just looking at the offensive line, man, I think this group right now, there are 3 names, topic of conversation, maker to breaker. There are 3 names in this offensive line room that I think this year is their opportunity to really get on the field and showcase quality talent. And if I'm not a man of my word or whatever, if my eyes aren't as good as evaluating like I think they are, then I may be wrong. But I think I have a good keen eye for this type of thing. We were very close to really just calling last season production. As far as the wide receiver room, we saw how that came out. Even with Jalen Miro's struggles, percentage wise, I may was off a little bit on the numbers, but percentage wise, how the numbers would stagger and look, it showed up exactly like I said it would. I told y'all we probably would have maybe 1,000-yard receiver if we had one. Did we have one? I think Ryan Williams hit it towards the end of the season after, towards the bowl game. So just kind of listen to you, boy. We know what we're talking about. We've been doing this for about 5 years now. Just talking football. Been doing the content side of it for about 3 years now. So I think we're starting to get our feet solid in the ground. Shout out to Greg McKinney for being a member for 10 months, man. You know what, Greg? You actually on the banner. The AAA banner. I forgot about that. I'm gonna pull that AAA banner out for y'all too, man. We gotta update it. I'm gonna do a whole stream on Instagram. I got my spray paint ready. We gotta edit it. You know what I'm saying? Got some changes to make, and I'm gonna keep it. And then I'm gonna have pictures made of the actual AAA members that's made it to the year, and I'm gonna start putting y'all pictures on there. But yeah, offensive line room, quality talent depth there. I'm going to look at the room. I'm gonna call out some names. 3 names that I think really have to step up this year in that offensive line room, and then we're just working the offensive side this morning, and then tonight when we go live, we'll talk about the defensive side. I have a person coming on tonight, hopefully that is a defensive minded personality, and I want to hear their thoughts on some of the evaluations that I have. They've played at the collegiate level, they've coached at high school and collegiate level. Going to get them on and see what they have to say about some of the thoughts that I have with Alabama concerning Alabama. So offensive line, guys that really need to just go ahead and make that step in the right direction. Starting it off, off rip, man, I got to start with my youngin, Rock Montgomery. I think Rock Montgomery is a guy that, in my opinion, long overdue. long overdue for him to get an opportunity. I'm not saying that he's a foregone starter, but I think with his engine and his motor, losing Tyler Booker, and needing to replace intensity and mindset or overall look of how you want the persona of your team to be, right? I think you need to have a guy like hold on. Why is it showing the wrong? Okay, there it is. I was about to say it wasn't showing up. But you gotta have the right, mentality. Not just size, makeup, and all that stuff. You gotta have the right mentality, guys. The guys with the right attitude who want to be physical, who want to establish the dominance and the presence in the run game. And Rock Montgomery embodies that. You got a guy in front of him that'll be kind of pushing for those guard center reps in front of him. Geno Vandermark, I think you might have. Camp Dewberry is another guard that we're going to see get an opportunity. Been hearing a lot of positives about him and his growth in the early days on campus. And then you got young guys behind him like Michael Carroll, Michael DeBose, who can play in both guard and tackle positions. It's going to be a trek for him to solidify himself as a starter. But Rock Montgomery, this is your time. This is your time. The other name on that offensive line, William Sanders, I just got done talking about him. 6'3", 310. You look at Caden Proctor's size, 6'5". Caden Proctor's 6'7", 331 right now. William Sanders can be more fit to play offensive tackle than Caden Proctor. But I think if you look at skill set wise, for what this pin and pull system involves, I don't want William Sanders at the tackle position. Athletically, I don't think he's there to play the tackle. Leave him at guard. I think he's a quality rotational piece. So when you go to the 6-man fronts that we pull out, the 6-man offensive line sets, William Sanders might be one of your first guys in that lineup because his height, size, the way he can get pushed on the interior is, just a strong piece. This year, as a redshirt freshman, third year on campus, right? This will be going into his third year on campus. He's a redshirt freshman. All right. No, this will be his second year on campus. He's a sophomore in the classroom. So no, second year on campus. He was the early enrollee. Yeah. I'm back. I don't know if I'm backwards on my thoughts on him, but William Sanders is a name that I feel like is make it or break it right now for him. With the talent behind him in this 25 class, these guys, this is the spring to really separate yourself and have a leg up on those 25 offensive linemen. And then another name that I've been hearing quality things about in the offensive line room, and I'm excited because he's a body and he's one of your athletic bodies. That's Olis Alanin. With some of their offensive linemen in limited reps, he's been getting more reps in the 11s. Trying to get with the first group, seeing how things move with guys who are kind of more experienced. And that first group gets looks when you're going and repping with the likes of Wilk and Formby, or you're repping next to Jaden Roberts. That's a good look as far as getting evaluation. And then kind of some, not names that is making a break, but some names that are popping up. Young guys, Jackson Lloyd, Michael Carroll, just getting high praise from a lot of coaches, not just the O-line group and Coach Cap, but you talk about the tight end room and Coach Ellis and how he has to kind of cross-train with those guys. The development is starting to show up with a lot of these guys, these young guys. Mal Waldrop, just showcasing dedication to being able to develop his body. That was the big thing for Mal, being able to pack on some weight, checking in at 322, being on campus for the short amount of time that he's been, able to pack on 15, 20 solid pounds of good weight, getting to that SEC size, already had the height. This is a quality offensive line group that came in. Moving forward, man, the other names on the offensive side that I think really need to show up. Let's talk about the wide receiver room. I think Jalen Hill he's poised to make a huge impact, even though he's going to probably end up being a third or fourth option in this wide receiver rotation. You look at Alabama, they went and got Isaiah Horton out the portal for a reason. I think to create quality depth. I don't think you didn't have enough talent in this room before you went and got Horton, but you go and get him for a reason. Experience, right? He's a redshirt junior, meaning he's got 4 years of college ball, of being in college under his belt going into next season. He'll be going into 4 years of college ball, being on a college program for 4 years. He's probably a one and done transfer. Guy come in, going to make immediate impact. Been talking about his speed, but you got Ryan Williams that's going to be, wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. You got Jeremy Bernard, they're going to be the trio. And then you got a guy like Cole Adams, who is surging from that slot position last year before his injury. So Jalen Hill rocking the vintage Julio number 8 coming into this spring. And literally, Julio was 6'3", like 215, but style of play, Jalen Hill reminds us of Julio. Strong hands, can stretch your defense. Not going to be a burner, but can stretch the defense, can go up and get the one-on-ones. Fearless going across the middle. Strong out of his breaks. And I've been seeing some film of him working in the route, getting in the lab with route running. Him and Cole Adams are probably going to be some of your better route runners, and Bubba Hampton in that room. Talented wide receiver room, but Jalen Hill is a guy I think is make it or break it for him because he's too talented to really sit and be a 7th, 8th, 9th option in a wide receiver rotation. Jalen Hill in that wide receiver room, it's really him that I'm worried about. I think Bubba Hampton has another year to kind of play sparingly with some of the transition that's going to happen after this group leaves. But he's a guy that we had high hopes for coming into the Michigan game, the bowl game. So going to see the development of Jalen Hill in this system and scheme, they were high on Jalen Hill before he got injured last spring. Coach Cochran, stay at West Alabama this spring. Don't come making no visits. We don't need no injuries. The day Coach Cochran came and visited is the day Jalen Hill got hurt last spring. So we know what to do. We didn't have a 1K wide receiver, Ryan and Jeremy. You get what I'm saying, Davin? And to me, I don't think that was all on Milroe, right? I don't think that was all on Milroe because a lot of times your open passes that he didn't see weren't Bernard and K-Law. Weren't Bernard and Williams. A lot of the open passes that he misses were K-Law, Kobe Prentice, Caleb Odom when he was getting reps. Cole Adams got looked off, CJ Dupree, Josh Cuevas. Like those guys were the ones not getting the looks, right? Or the targets, right? Tight end room, a guy that's making a breaker for me. Danny Lewis, this is your time. 4th year on campus, 4th year in the program. You're the senior guy in this room. You and Josh Cuevas. You're the more athletic, complete tight end build for this offensive system. It's up to you, Danny Lewis, to make a impact this season because you got a guy in Jay Lindsey who does what you do. Just not as confident, but does what you do. And I think development-wise, he's going to be a guy once he figures it out and is able to dial in and be more consistent in run blocking. He can possibly. But there, Danny Lewis, he's the guy. Like he's the guy in the tight end room that's going to be able to do it all for us. Can he capitalize this spring and showcase that he's going to be able to separate? Limited, right? Limited in his availability, right? Creating opportunities for a young guy that I'm excited about, Marshall Pritchett. I think Marshall Pritchett probably going to be the most talented tight end to come out of this room when it's all said and done. What's up, twin? I see you in the chat. Jason, what's good, my boy? He said, I've been following you since your first day of Alabama football, but I haven't been a certified member until last year sometime. You know what's crazy? I already know that, Jason. Jason, you did something in this community that a few haven't. We ate together. We literally ate together. We broke bread, man. So I already know, man. I already know what time it is. And my twin is in the chat, man. Cole, I'm going to be in Birmingham in a few weeks for a few hours. They got to get her hair done. Let's hang out. If y'all in the Birmingham area, I'm down to do especially it's going to be, if Alabama's playing the game that day, let's link up. Let's do a AAA outing in Birmingham. We can get in Discord and talk about it. We can get on the phone and set it up. Let's get out and do a AAA outing in Birmingham for the NCAA tournament. Y'all down for that? Get in our Bama gear. As a matter of fact, get in our red and white AAA gear. Gray and white, gray and red AAA gear and show some support to our Crimson Tide. Get what I'm saying? All right. We talk wide receivers. We talk tight ends. We talk O-line. I don't want to talk quarterbacks today because the guest that we're going to have on tonight, we'll be kind of diving to the quarterback conversation. Make it or break it. Running back room. Do we have one? Do we have one in the running back room that is really make it or break it? I think there's a patience and a trust the process type of thing going on with Kevin Riley. You know, a guy that is going to be. We don't know how we're going to use him exactly with the type of running backs in the room, the style of running back that usually finds success in this system, right? You got your multifaceted, multi-purpose do-it-all backs in Dre Washington and Jam Miller. You got, I think you have your every down back in Richard Young, right? You got your power back in Daniel Hill, right? AK Deers is your young guy that can do it all, you know, change of speed. Really, your receivers out the backfield is probably going to be AK Deer and Jam, right? Kevin Riley presents the same skill set, but how does he get into the rotation? He has to be patient. This running back room is packed. It's packed. I don't think we lose any in the portal after the 10-day spring window. I don't think we lose any running backs in the portal. If anything, if we lose anybody, it's going to be because they're in that top 2, top 3 rotation. Somebody just wants more carries, which is well within reason. You're talking about a guy in Richard Young, redshirt sophomore, going into his 3rd year on campus, right? Last year, we saw his impact when he got carries while he was healthy. I mean, this says 5'11". He looks every bit of 6'2", 6'3". He's a monster, 210. I think he's more along the line of 225, 230. And he's got a lot of breakaway speed, and he was one of your top 3 backs in his recruiting class, and he showcased it. He and Justice Haynes were 1 and 2 in their class for the longest. So I think we got to go and unleash that talent in there. And then Jam Miller was a quality back that came out a year before those guys. So a lot of quality. Dre Washington, I don't think this guy's coming in looking to be a heavy load carrier. I think he's coming in to look for some developmental opportunities, right? And to showcase himself in a high volume offensive scheme to where his style of running, ground and pound, north and south, get behind your pads, run through somebody, is going to be utilized and effective. So Kevin Riley, probably the only one that I don't say is make it or break it, is kind of like get through it, son. Trust the process. His skill set is going to be utilized more so in the transition year next year when the quarterback this year, y'all know who I think is on, when the quarterback this year is established, right? He's going to be a quality rotational depth piece next year. And I think he's ready if there's any injuries in front of him this year. So kind of my thoughts. What's your thoughts? Make it or break it for players in the spring, position groups on the offensive side. Phone line is going to be open for the last 10 minutes that we have on the show. Just kind of digesting the spring football talk. Who can step up and really make a name for themselves? There are some freshmen on the offensive side that I think are making a name for themselves, and they keep it up. They will be quality pieces for this offense. One starting in the wide receiver room, Latier Brooks. You ask anybody about what the highlights of this spring so far, even though they've only been in shells and there hasn't been much contact. Latier Brooks is a formidable piece for this offense. I think you get him in the rotation as your 4th guy, just to create that or 5th guy, because Rico Scott is another name that I'm hearing is just going crazy. You got Rico Scott and Latier Brooks as your 4th and 5th guys in the rotation, or even in the rotation as change of speed. You go out with a four wide set, which I don't think we're going to see a lot of that. I don't think we're going to see a lot of that this season. But you go out into those sets, you put a lot of speed on the field, and you can put guys that are aggressive as far as how they attack the ball, how they catch the ball, how they play the ball in the air. It's going to be a crazy talented wide receiver group. Offensive line protection, give us 3.3 seconds. I got 3 quarterbacks in the room that make quick decisions, can play the quick game quality in the quick pass game. Bubba Hampton, can't wait for him to get 100%. Another speedster in that room. It's going to be hard to guard this wide receiver room. Derek Meadows, another guy developing at that X position, big jump ball body, right? And I'm telling you, man, I can't wait for Marshall Pritchard to really pick it up and start understanding, because he creates mismatch problems when you can split a guy like Marshall Pritchard or Danny Lewis, who showcase like some quality leaping ability. When you could split those guys, you can put an X receiver as your perimeter guy on one side, and then split your X, your Y, your tight end as another split on the opposite side. Create true one-on-ones, force safety help over top, right in the goal line, in the red zone. So that's a lot of options available for an offensive system that just thrives in creating mismatches, right, when it's ran effectively. So a lot of excitement surrounding Alabama football spring practice. As the content becomes available, guys, we will come back live and react to it. With the last 2 minutes left on the show, man, I just want to thank y'all for being here today, man. I want to thank y'all for being here. If you enjoyed the show, man, let me know. Let me know by putting some fire in the chat. If you're in the chat still active and enjoyed the conversation, the dialogue, drop it, man. Drop it. Because I just want to know, man. I just want to know that y'all still there rocking with your boy. We got the OG beat popping in. Yeah, I remember that. Y'all remember that. We got the new beat is on the night shows. But as always, man, appreciate y'all for tapping in here on the Coach Smook Network, man. We've been doing our lives. If you're tuning in post stream, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Our viewership is higher than our subscriptions. So that means people are watching or tapping in and they're not subscribed. So I would love if you're tapping in, if you're lurking, just like and subscribe. You don't have to share it all the time. But if you're enjoying it, man, again, I appreciate y'all for being here. Appreciate the fire in the chat, everybody. AAA family, all love. I appreciate y'all, man. And we'll be live again as soon as we start getting some content to react to. Y'all continue to share it, man. And shout out to the co-sponsors on today's stream. Ayo Sully, shout out to the sponsors on today's stream. Yon Clothing, y'all see the hat. We got more hats coming in. I talked to bro. Is he gonna get some shipment stuff out? So we'll have his link ready for you all to start making purchases. But don't forget to check out our own merch. To get the link, Printify is where we go for our shopping, our merch right now. We have our website being designed. They said we should be up in June. So hopefully in June, we'll have our own personal website up with our merch. Y'all see some of the first lineup merch, white letter lineup. And this is the one you can get customized. If you want to get it customized with your name on the back, I got Coach Smook. I can't turn around because of the space, but I got Coach Smook on the back. Y'all seen this shirt. I got some more being made. So continue to support, y'all. I really appreciate it. Let me see. What's next? Let me make sure I did all. Yon Clothing. We got the AAA fam. Oh, and Standard Executive Security, one of our sponsors. And then all the beats and everything that you heard throughout the stream. Shout out to Dooley Gang the fam and Seafood Beats, man. Show my brother for providing all the beats, man. That's who you want to go to get all of your quality background music, things of that nature. All of your edits and graphics and stuff that you've been seeing on the network, done by yours truly. Shout out to Thad and the team, the media graphics team, for the branding and everything, all the logos y'all see up here, everything on the shirt. Shout out to them. Shout out to the whole team. Shout out to the community, AAA family. You're the reason why we're able to grow and do what we do. And with that being said, don't forget, man, when you see me in the streets, holla at me and say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Much love, everybody.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holla at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.